In today's Leeds news, Calvert-Lewin setback, agent issue in Perri move, Dorigo reinforces quality message, and James Trafford valuation details. Monday the 27th of July at the Leeds View. Jer here with you. We do these every single day, Monday to Friday, along with a transfer wrap-up at the weekends and 2 podcasts a week available on YouTube and across all of your audio platforms. I hope your weekend went well. It's a very quiet Monday, that has to be said, when we all say during the summer transfer, and that usually means Leeds are busy and about to get something done. There could be some announcements today. I wouldn't expect to see Julian Brandt rock up in a Leeds United jersey, but the new Leeds United jersey is about to be released. Hasn't been released officially by Leeds United just yet, but it has appeared on Adidas.com's official website. Likely more expensive there as well. We will have Fanatics links for that through the official Leeds United club shop. When they do come out, we'll stick them on the post section and out on social media. What is available right now is the pre-match shirts are available. There's a link directly down below in the description if you want to get that through the official Leeds United store and our partnership with Leeds and Fanatics. You can check that out if you want to. Quick update on Jack Harrison's. Tried to find out what the fee is. He's gone to New England Revolution, signed a permanent deal. No detail from Leeds. Leeds have said undisclosed fee. The US side of things are saying a nominal fee or a minimal fee. So small enough transfer fee as we imagined it would be. But again, as we said over the weekend, very important to get those wages off the books. Right, bit of stuff to talk about. Not massive amounts. We'll start off with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So Leeds need to add another quality striker. Became pretty clear over the weekend. Nothing major. But at the very least, just a reminder to Leeds that they're a little bit thin on quality in certain areas of the park. And your worst fears with a Dominic Calvert-Lewin could still be realised this season. And it's going to be important to make sure you've got depth in that area. Calvert-Lewin missed the opening pre-season game against Wrexham over the weekend because he picked up a small setback during his individual programme over the weekend at their summer camp in the US. He pulled out of the team training and is working on his own programme, and he had a bit of a setback that interrupted that programme, and he's now said to be working his way back to fitness. They have said it's a minor enough thing. There's no specific detail on the injury. Likely didn't want to just risk him over the weekend in the match against Wrexham, give him another chance to get fit and healthy and make sure they don't aggravate that injury. But we did get to see Leeds returning to Daniel Farke's preferred 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 variation of the same system, if you want to talk about that, which also brought in the slow, passive, possession-based football with very little chances created. And if you're going to play that way, you absolutely need to make sure you've got your best quality players on the park. And when Joe Perri played up in the first half, some nice touches from Joe, but definitely showed he's not a hold-up striker. When he did have to link the play, outside the little flicks around the corner, the layoff ones, is a gap in his game. And Lucas Mecha, very serviceable, but not at the same level of a Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So a more serious injury to Dominic Calvert-Lewin going into the start of this season. And Leeds could be in trouble in that area. So they do need to bring in another player, striker, who can compete with Dominic Calvert-Lewin at that level. And we'll wait and see if that does happen. Lovely finish by Joe Perri, though, by the way. Missed the penalty, but lovely finish when he got his chance. Also, the weekend we saw Bijol, Sebastian Bornauw miss out on the game. Bijol had a slight knock to his knee. Nothing major, just a bit of a knock. Doesn't get a whole lot of injuries. Sebastian Bornauw, similar issue, but it's another one to add to a list of what is a long-running list of little knocks that keep Sebastian Bornauw out for a couple of games, and he'll want a decent pre-season as well. They're all likely to be back pretty soon, though, as well as the likes of Muharamovic, Aronson, Okafor, and Goodmonton, who are all expected to be involved in the next set of games. Move on. So another little small crease in the potential exit of Lucas Perri from Leeds and move to Torino. And this may or may not impact the move, but it is being reported in Italy at this moment in time. Torino are believed to have wanted Perri over there over the course of the weekend to try and complete a medical so they could speed things up as and when Leeds do bring in a goalkeeper. That obviously didn't happen because he travels with Leeds, was training with Leeds, and played the second half against Wrexham. But there is another possible tweak in this one that is coming from his agent side. Football Italia claim that Torino are not getting cold feet necessarily because of anything Leeds United are doing or Leeds United have done, but they do believe there is an issue related to specific commission related to his agent. Football Italia report that the move may stall due to his agent's demands and no agreement being in place right now over his agent's fees. The report says everything else is fine. Everybody else involved in the deal is happy with it and wants it to go through. this is clearly down to an agent, and unless the agent climbs down or moves out of the way a little bit, there could be a little bit of an issue here. Now, they also just described the whole process of what's going on with the agent right now as a crease in the current deal. So he'll have to get out of the way to try and get this one done. Either way, he won't move until Leeds United bring in a replacement for him, but fingers crossed that's closer than we think. Let's talk about Tony Dorigo reinforcing some key messages over the summer. So Tony Dorigo's been speaking over the weekend about what Leeds need this summer, and he continued the central message of adding real quality to the squad this summer. Dorigo's starting point was basically a warning saying that no matter who Leeds United signed this summer, they will likely still be competing to try and stay in the Premier League, and that it's not a guarantee just because you bring in a couple of good players, you're going to jump up the table, because every other side in the Premier League will also be strengthening. But on that topic, he said this: you look at the records of teams that stay up, you get it slightly wrong, and you're going to be in bother. That's not just the ones that come up. Look at Spurs, West Ham, anyone that doesn't get it right can struggle. Now, we've seen that ourselves with the players that we brought in during the season that we went down. We brought in the wrong profile of players, the wrong attitude of players, the players that were interested in the Premier League money more so than playing for Leeds United. And when the first opportunity came to get out, they all got out. So he's very much on the money with that. But Daniel Farke and Parag Marat have also both spoken about Leeds' need to add quality. So I hope there's an underlying message that everyone is agreed on. But right now, Leeds have spent, or could be spending, in and around £40 million on a goalkeeper. We'll get to that in a second. And £34 million on a centre back. They still need to add real quality in the attacking parts of the pitch, which they missed out on last year after spending the bulk of the summer focusing on the defensive side of the squad last year. Now, Dorigo has gone on to talk about that and exactly what Leeds need in this window, and he said this: we need to add quality rather than quantity this time, so you won't be seeing 10, you'll be seeing 5 or 6. And I think Wilson is an excellent signing, really good. And pre-season is always an important time. You want your players in as soon as you can, clearly, but it doesn't always work out that way. So I think we'll have to be a bit patient. In previous windows, that patience has really paid off, because I think the signings we've made in the last few windows have been excellent, really good. So I think we all just need to be a little bit patient. So good things come to those who wait is the message from Tony Dorigo. And he's probably right on this. It would be great if Leeds could get as many of their players in as soon as they can. It'd be nice to see a couple come in pretty soon. But ultimately, I think he's bang on the money. I think it's important that we get the right players, not just the ones that are available during the quickest time frame. And Leeds might have to wait for a couple of them to try and see how the market develops. But you do want to see your spine, or at least your key players. James Trafford coming in, if he does come in, limited amount of development time. But anyone coming in from abroad will need more time to adapt to the league. So getting them in as soon as possible and getting games under their belt will be really, really important. But speaking about James Trafford, let's move on to that one. So as Leeds are hopefully over the next day or so putting the final few details in place for a move for James Trafford, some detail has come out in the media around the possible contract length and valuation of the player. The Daily Mail, the Mirror and Alex James have all said that they believe the fee for James Trafford will be a record transfer fee for Leeds United, and that transfer fee is rumoured to be £40 million plus add-ons, which is a huge amount of money and definitely a massive profit based on what Manchester City paid for him last season and the volume of games that he played last year. But it's worth pointing out that there has been nothing locally on this. There's no confirmation necessarily on this. And those who have said it haven't stuck the magic word exclusive beside it. So that would add some question marks around that fee. So very much still a rumour fee at this moment in time. There's also either a buyback clause or a release clause being negotiated in the deal, despite Parag Marat saying 2 years ago Leeds would not be putting any more exit deals or exit clauses in contracts for players. Now, they might have to just accept this one if they want to get their primary target this summer. But I wouldn't be overly worried about either of those two, because a buyback clause will likely have a date attached to it, so that could expire. And a sell-on clause can be negotiated out of a contract if they decide to offer him a new deal in a couple of years' time. They can remove that depending on how the club is progressing and how happy he is with the football club. But all going well, not a massive issue. And as long as Leeds get a big one on it and they can make some money down the line, reinvest that into a brand new player, not the end of the world. A 5-year contract is also said to be the length of the deal that he's been signing. And if you believe accounts on X, he flew into Leeds this morning from Manchester to complete the deal. So that's less than a 1 hour drive and less than a 44-mile trip. And I personally think that because it's not deadline day and he was on holiday on Saturday, that does seem a little bit unlikely probably a local businessman getting a flight in to get a flight out. So, yeah, it's not deadline day. There's no need for him to fly 44 miles or less than an hour drive. And by the time he gets to Leeds Bradford and has that rotten drive from Leeds Bradford all the way out to Thorpe Arch, what's the point? What's the point? I don't know. I don't think that necessarily was the case, but we'll see. But the general the general belief amongst the media is that James Trafford move to Leeds United will be a record transfer, will be about £40 million, and will be a 4+ year deal, 5+ year deal. And you're likely to see undisclosed fee from Leeds and long-term contract mentioned. So we'll have to wait and see. But if anything else pops up today, we will jump on later on with a live stream. There's no more news on the Julian Brandt situation. The only noise going on around that right now is that Leeds and Ajax have both put 2-year contract offers on the table for him, and he's weighing up his options. But again, like Dominic Calvert-Lewin last summer, he could take all summer to decide what he wants to do. But he has said goodbye to Leverkusen in his training camp there. Has a little countdown timer on his Instagram account, whatever that's supposed to mean. So maybe we can get that one done sooner. As soon as the Leeds United official launch happens as well, we'll stick the links for the kit. But if you do want to get the Leeds United training kit, there's a little link down below me right now, and you can jump on that if you want to, or in the description. And if you're buying it from Leeds anyway, you can buy it through us and give us a bit of support that way. Otherwise, stick a like on the video on your way out the door, and I'll talk to you soon. See you later. Bye.